Welcome back to the podcast. We are here with Terri B. Jones from WeVoiceIt.com. And do you have a Alexa smart speaker or know someone that has an Alexa smart speaker? Well, there are all kinds of amazing things that you can do with it that will make your life simpler, easier, and if you're a business owner, might even make you more money as far as getting your podcast on there, as far as getting hooked up into voice search. So Terri is going to be telling us all about some of these cool things. She is from WeVoiceIt.com. She has a podcast called We Voice It, and we will dive into some fun activities we can talk about with Amazon Alexa. So Terri, glad to be talking to you.
I'm glad that you invited me.
Yeah, and it's there's a two-way relationship here because I'm selfishly looking for some new cool things that I can do with my smart speaker. I have a new baby, and we wanted to have like a Bluetooth speaker, and I thought, why not just get a Amazon Echo, because it does that, but also does all the voice searching. And I currently use it to, sometimes I'll ask it to set a timer for me so I can get something done. Sometimes I will say, hey, Alexa, add such and such to my shopping list. I'll say, can you play this music to keep my baby entertained? But I think that's all I do. I haven't installed any extra things. I don't listen to podcasts. I know that I'm missing out with this smart speaker craze. And I know I'm not the only one. So tell me about what we're all missing out with Alexa and smart speakers.
Actually, 3 years ago, Amazon let normal, regular, everyday people develop Alexa skills for these Echo devices. They were getting devices out to people. People were buying them. And of course, initially, we're just listening to music. And so there's a whole lot of other things you can do with the device. And so what better way than to reach out to, regular people to say, hey, what kind of content, you're interested in that you can put on this device so that those who have these devices can listen to and take advantage of. And so we just saw the Super Bowl, right? There was an Alexa commercial with the Super Bowl, okay? Then, of course, you see where they have the cars now where you can listen to Alexa in your car. And so because of this being, I'm in the technology field. I've been in IT for 34 years at the same company, but a lot of people's like, oh my gosh, you've been, same thing. But technology is always changing. And I like to stay on top of what's trending because I am a teacher of marketing concepts. And so this is the latest and greatest way to get your content on the device. And so with that in mind, I actually decided that, before COVID, I was doing a local events, workshops and seminars where I was talking to local businesses about the whole concept, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I have one of those, but they had no idea that you can create skills. And since 2017, which is when this actually was offered, there has been 100,000 Alexa skills on this Echo device that you can take advantage of. Okay. And people don't have a clue. So of course, there's Jeopardy on there. There's Family Feud, all your big companies are on there, but your regular local business can actually have their concept on there. If there is, say, a restaurant and they have a special for the day, they can actually have that on there. If there's an author that has several books, they want to promote their books and just kind of give you a peep into what these books are about, and then let you know, hey, you can purchase my books. They can do that. If there's like a local church, where their pastor have, weekly sermons and Bible studies, they can actually have that content on there. And then you can have fun with it and have like trivia on there. You can have games. I mean, it's just pretty much the same thing that you would find on Google. You can definitely now look for that same content on Alexa just using your voice. And so you don't actually have to have the devices yourself too. That's another thing that people did not know, that there's an Amazon Alexa app. And pretty much when you get the device, that is what you use to set up your Echo devices. Okay. And the way I got started is I actually won an Echo speaker at my job because I'm in the tech field. They always giving out, techie type gifts. And so I won the speaker. And then my grandkids, of course, with kids, they're going to explore something new, right? And so I had this device here, but it's like it was just sitting there, and doing a whole lot with it. And then my grandkids is like, Alexa, what color is a pig? Alexa, just asking all kind of weird stuff, is there really a God? And so they were doing so many different things, asking it. And so then I was invited to a webinar by another author because I have self-published like 15 books, right? And so basically she's like, hey, get on this webinar so you can find out how to get your content and voice on Alexa, right? So once I learned about it, I'm like, man, how cool is that, right? So I basically have all different types of Alexa skills that I develop. I actually have one like every day you can listen to a home safety tip so that you can be safe in your kitchen and also being safe in your home. Like you can connect your Ring device with your Alexa. And so that when you're away from home, you can let Alexa know, hey, turn my lights on, turn my music on, whatever you want it to do. It's so many, like I said, even as an entrepreneur, you can connect your Gmail account so that Alexa could tell you what's on your schedule for today. And all of these things is what I share on my actual We Voice It podcast on a weekly basis.
I mean, there's so much to think about, and it's like when I first heard about the Alexa skills, I think I heard about there was a coin flip skill. So if you and the wife or the husband can't decide where to eat for dinner, you just say Alexa heads or tails, and then it decides that sort of thing for you. And then I have heard a little bit about basically like 1 minute podcasts or something like that, right? On Alexa, so that way, if someone is a podcast listener, they can just have like a queue of all their like little 1 minute clips like that kind of safety tip. And then I kind of made a mental note about how there's like Jeopardy and trivia. That'll be fun to play around with. And so are these things sort of interchangeable? Because I'm used to thinking like, okay, like with a phone, right? You install an app if you want this feature, or then you go and subscribe to this podcast if you want these regular updates. Is it with the skills, is it all just like the same thing? Is it all interchangeable, or are they like two separate things we're talking about?
Okay, so basically on your phone or on Amazon.com from your desktop, okay, you can go and you know how you have the drop down menu where you can say books or Kindle, music, whatever. Well, there's actually something called Alexa Skills, and you can click on there. And once you click on there in the browser, you can put in, finances, you can put in jokes, you can put in encouragement, motivation, any type of search you would normally do on Google. You can do that same search on Amazon.com, or if you downloaded the Amazon Alexa app on your phone, you can search from there. And then on the home screen of the Amazon Alexa app, you can scroll in, and then it lets you know all the different types of things that you can actually do on this device. A lot of people, like I said, they just not really, they're using it to its maximum capacity. And so that's why I share, that. And like you were mentioning, as far as doing like a 1 minute tip, a home improvement tip of the day, or, how to, organize your home for the day, those types of things, like coaches and stuff, they can actually share that content on there. If they're having an event coming up, they can share that type of information. But if you have a regular podcast, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a 1 minute, because when you were referring to the 1 minute, those more like flash briefing type of Alexa skills. And then you have an actual podcast where like you're a podcaster, your podcast can actually be listened to from the Alexa device. And so those who have the newer cars, and you are able to connect your Alexa device in your car, they can listen to your podcast while they're traveling and on the road. How cool is that?
That's super cool, and it's like that. There's always the hesitation if there's some new platform. There's always the chicken and the egg, right? There's like, well, I could list this on Amazon, or I could have my podcast on there, but if people are people really listening? And but every Christmas, you always hear about how people get these smart speakers as gifts. You always hear about how the cars are getting smarter and smarter, and there's all kinds of like Amazon built in, or like podcasting built in. So it just seems like this is only going to grow, but it's also going to get more crowded. So it's up to us to get in now while it's growing, but before there's just so many other people out there that we get lost in the noise.
And guess what? Okay, the number one Alexa skill that started Amazon to paying developers for putting their Alexa skills, because they weren't paying developers. They wanted the content on there, and basically they will give you like a t-shirt or something like that. But this one guy, he brought so much traffic to these devices to where he reached out to the president of Amazon and say, hey, look, I'm sending lots of traffic to your devices. I need to get paid. Okay. And because of him, I don't even know how much he's making now, but he was making like thousands of dollars per month. And his Alexa skill is word of the day. How cool is that? He's
Anyone
getting
can do it.
paid. I'm telling you, I don't even know what his money is now. I know like in 2018, I think he was getting like $10,000 a month or something, because so many people was wanting to know what's the word of the day. And you're thinking like it has to be some big grandiose. No, it really doesn't. Something simple as that. Another lady friend of mine, because like I said, I have my two granddaughters that at the time they were like maybe 7 and 10 or 6 and 9, somewhere up in there. So what we were doing, what I was doing with them every week is I was creating a preview and review of Alexa skills for kids with my grandchildren. Okay. And so every week, there'd be somebody would reach out to my grandkids, because if you just see them, they're just so cute and they never went to any kind of school on video, acting, or none of that. I mean, we just raw. I bring them up on a video, and then they'll talk about the Alexa skill. You listen to it, and then you'll know, hey, this is a skill. Yeah, I would like my kids, because we do, there's freeze dance, and we use that at her birthday party. I mean, so many things that can use for your birthday, as a party and stuff. And so what happened with that, some of the developers started paying my little grandkids for doing a video. It's like, hey, would you have your grandkids to do a video so that people can know what my Alexa skill is about, right? And then Amazon last year, they reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing a video. No, it's not last year. This is this year. Yeah, we're doing a video on voice, and we want to, we found a video of your grandkids out there, and we want to use a snippet of one of their videos in our commercial. So they were in the commercial with Amazon talking about Alexa. And so, like I say, and then also I've gotten paid to go and speak on Alexa. And so it's not just, you can make money from developing skills, because now, like I said, because of the guy with Word of the Day, they actually are paying people to develop skills. And then, like I said, they'll give like all of the devices I have, I actually won them from developing skills. I have the Echo Show 2, I have the Echo Show 5, I have 2 Echo Dots, I have the speaker. I mean, all of it I won, because they reward you in gadgets, money, and then there's hackathons where you can enter hackathons and you can win money. One of the ladies, she entered one. Now, guess what this was called? Kids Court. She won $25,000 for that Alexa skill, because it is so cute. I had my grandkids to do a video on it. But basically, so you have 2 kids, right? And say somebody wasted fingernail polish on the carpet, brand new carpet you just put down. So now you use this Kids Court Alexa skill to determine who really, wasted that fingernail polish, because both of them saying they didn't do it right. And so those are some of the types of things that's out there. So it's just really, really the newest, latest, greatest place to be with your content. If you're about branding, you have your Facebook, you have your Instagram, you have your YouTube channel. Now it's time for you to have your content on voice so that people can find you as well.
And with the kids' court, how do you figure out who's guilty? Who do you figure out who's at fault?
Alexa does actually the skill. Within the skill, it actually just lets you know who was the one that did it.
Oh, geez.
It's cute. It's too cute.
And it's like there's a skill for everything, and I really like what your strategy there was, because that's something that it's hard to remember this, of like exploring the universe that's in front of you, right? Like how there are people that have created huge YouTube channels of just reviewing the top iPhone and Android apps, right? And just like there's unlimited amounts of content, so much exploring to do. And just like how in the same way you and your grandkids just explore a different Alexa skill for kids. And I mean, that's such a valuable thing, even because there's people out there who, I mean, like me, like I don't have time to install a bunch of things or play around with a lot of things. And sometimes I'll even go to YouTube and I'll like dial up like an old video game from when I was a kid, because it's like, well, I miss that old video game and I want to play it, but I have things to do and I don't want to go to all the trouble of actually doing it. I'd rather just like watch it happen on screen. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are similar as far as finding the hottest iPhone apps or finding the hottest Alexa skills. Like I'd rather just watch a lot of videos and see if something presents itself, and then I'll decide if I want to use it based on what's right there in front of me. And like you said, like there's cool things that can be done of like, well, if you have a birthday party coming up or a lot of people over and you want to have some cool Alexa skills, but you don't want to waste 2 days trying out this and that, it's more efficient to go and find a top list or go through someone's like YouTube channel or go through different videos to find something that we can use. And so you've mentioned a few times here about how like this term of like developers. And so if someone says that like, I like the ideas that you put out there as far as like something of the day or some kind of like a trivia game, and if someone has an idea for them to create that for their business, is a developer required? Is there like a lot of like a setup fee or a monthly fee? Like what is involved if someone says, I want an Alexa skill for my business?
Okay, so basically, if somebody knows how to develop a skill, they can just go on Amazon and do it themselves. Okay, now they have it out there. Now you go figure how to get it done, or you can hire somebody that knows how to do that. I'm a developer. I'm actually in a private Facebook group with just developers. Okay. And so if you have a concept and you're like, hey, this is something that I want to do, then yes, we can do that. Now I do have I'll call it the entry point, of someone who's not like a techie type person that wants to get their content on there. I do have a no code, no techie kind of way for you to get your content on there. But like I said, of course, I do have that. I have actually I created a course, on that. And so for those who want to, and then of course, because the content, you'll be using my platform to upload your content, then I do charge a monthly fee, for that as well. And so, but that's pretty much how someone who wants to get their content out there, they can connect with me. Or if it's something like real huge, and more than what I'm willing to, do, because I do have a full-time job, then I'm in a group of developers like, hey, which one of you guys would be interested in helping this person, to get, because you can have a nursing home that want their patients, to have an echo device so that they can communicate with their family members, because they're not able to go visit them because of COVID. And so that is something that could be done. And so, yeah, definitely they can reach out to me on that.
So many possibilities. And even the other day I was explaining to the wife about like smart light bulbs, right? How it's built into the light bulb. You screw in the light bulb and it connects on Wi-Fi and it talks to your Echo devices, and you can set a timer and you can group them together. I mean, at first thought, it's like, well, who cares? It's just a speaker and a microphone. But then when you look at what people have created and how it connects to other things, like, it's amazing some of the possibilities that are out there. And so as far as you and your contact details, we've mentioned things like you have this podcast, you have this course, and then you have this way for people to contact you directly if they have something custom, or if you're going to host it for them or pass along to someone that can create to put their idea into reality. So where can people find you, and what are the next steps here? Where should people go after listening to our conversation today?
Well, on my website, wevoiceit.com, I do have an appointment tab on there, so you can set up an appointment with me, because that's normally what I do, so that I can get an idea of what you have, what you're trying to do, and then that way we'll know how to move forward with the content that you want to get on your device, and what's the best route to take to have that done. So you can just
Fantastic.
set up an appointment. Yeah, wevoiceit.com/appointment.
wevoiceit.com/appointment. And my thinking with this is, if you're out there in podcast land and you've heard of this, or you've thought of this, or you're excited about this, well, are you serious or not? Well, if you're not serious, then you can continue listening to the podcast and reading the blog post. But if you actually are serious about making this happen soon in a reasonable amount of time, then you're going to want to go to wevoiceit.com and click on that appointment tab and schedule the call with Terri, just to get your idea out there and to get the ball rolling on some of these next steps. That way, this isn't just some pipe dream that, well, maybe someday in the years to come, I'll set up an Alexa skill. No, do it now. Schedule the call with Terri, so that before you even thinking about it, if you think about it, you'll talk yourself out of it. Don't think about it, just do it. Take action on this. And then also, Terri, is there an easy way from that website to find this YouTube channel with your grandkids? Because that sounds like a lot of fun too.
Yeah, if they just go to wevoiceit.com, I do have some of the videos on there. So yeah, they just click on there and you'll see them right there on the homepage at wevoiceit.com. The videos are on the homepage.
Fantastic. wevoiceit.com is the place to go. If you have been amazed, but also at the same time overwhelmed by all of these possibilities with smart speakers and Alexa, Echo Show version 8, or things built into the cars, Terri makes it simple for you, right? She makes it simple and fun, and that way you can focus more on the possibilities and the things that you'll do with it without getting bogged down on those technical details. So wevoiceit.com is the place to go. And any final parting words that come to mind, Terri, as we wrap up our conversation?
Well, if you think about it, it's only 100,000 Alexa skills. Just think about that. That's not a large number. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so pretty much right now, it's the time to be ahead of the curve. I'm a pioneer. If if it's something going down, I'm on top of it. And so I want to help you, to get your content found on voice.
Imagine getting into something before all the competition crowded it out. Imagine being one of the first Bitcoin buyers. Imagine buying one of the first .com names. Now with millions of smart speakers out there and only a few thousand skills, now it's the right ratio of get in there now, have a lot of fun with it. wevoiceit.com. And thank you, Terri, for stopping by.
Thank you for inviting me.